Hi, this is Paul Edwards with Danmark Company. Today we're going to do a continuing education regarding validation. As always, I want to start off by emphasizing a couple of points. Safety first is always where we need to start. So as you can see, we have latex gloves there, the nitrile gloves there, and we have also safety glasses. So always use those whenever you're performing any antimicrobial steps. So any kind of antimicrobial use, whether it's household or commercial, industrial, use safety glasses and use your nitrile gloves. Those are available through Danmark. The other thing I want to emphasize before we get started with our research or our project is always properly identify your pump-up sprayer. Okay, so here's your pump-up sprayer. And as you can see, it has our Flaco citric acid, Flaco acidified sodium chloride product. So anyway, what I want to do is I want to talk about validation studies. How are they done? Why are they done? And are they important that they're done? Yes, they're very important to have a validation study. And yes, it's very important to validate your application methods. And we're going to go over that today, but it's also very important to have a training tool. If you want your employees to know exactly what your expectations of them, to have a training tool like this video is always very important. So please utilize this even if you don't use our product, use this as a video training for the purpose of validations. So what I'm going to do is I got this sausage here, and I'm going to go on and add shaving cream on it, and I happen to buy this extra thick shaving cream, so I'm hoping that this works perfect for our demonstration. So here I go. I'm going to put this extra thick shaving cream on this. Okay, there you are. Perfect. So we got this shaving cream on it, okay? The purpose of the shaving cream on this is to demonstrate that when you have a pump-up sprayer and you spray, if you remove the shaving cream with your pump-up sprayer, then it's technically feasible that same chemistry that removed the shaving cream is also going to be what saturates the surface of the sausage, okay? So what I'm going to do is I just now filled this container with water, and I'm pumping it up as I'm speaking to you. Folks, if you're going to do any training, you want to do it with water. Okay, if you're going to do a video like this, you want to do it with water. Water is approximate specific gravity of the antimicrobial interventions out there, so that should be totally acceptable for that purpose. So now I got my little nozzle here, and I've got my surface area, and I want you to kind of like in your mind do a couple things. First, count. Okay, get an idea of how much seconds it took to properly spray this down, because that's very important that somebody in there has a consideration of what that count was on each sausage. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is go to our video on determining saturation rate. You're able to take this nozzle tip and determine the saturation rate or the volume that's being applied through that video. It teaches you how to do that. So I'm going to start now, and I'm going to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, 9 to 10 seconds, okay? Now, here's what I want you guys to understand, okay? This is an extra thick sausage, extra thick shaving. And I got that for a reason, okay? A lot of you guys wonder, why did you get extra thick? Okay, well, the reason why I wanted it extra thick is because I wanted it to cling as possible as it possibly could, and I also wanted to demonstrate the volume, okay? So you see this area here, it cleared it out here. Some of this area didn't clear it out. Validation isn't about taking how much solution it took to remove the foam. That's not what validation is. Validation is about coverage, okay? So while this is an acceptable validation technique, and there's nothing wrong with it, don't expect that just because the foam didn't come off, it's not validated. Don't take that into consideration. Now, Danmark also has a ink Okay, it's a USDA ink, and you can put this ink in your pump-up sprayer, pump it up. It's the same viscosity of water, and you can spray, or similar viscosity of water, and you can do the same thing, but now you're not knocking foam off. Now what you're doing is measuring the amount of fluid that's on the surface it leaves a deposit to show that that surface is coated, and you're doing it with ink. So that's a different technique for validation. It's actually you're applying onto a surface in such a way that it doesn't have a physical property like removing foam. It has a application where it actually shows the dyed area, and that would also be acceptable, showing the dye area. Now I'm going to go back here, okay? These nozzle tips, these pump-up sprayers are starting to come out with a bunch of different tips that can go on there. So whatever tip you use as your purpose of training, make sure that that tip is the tip that you always use in your plant, okay? So that you stay on the same page, okay? I've made an adjustment that supposedly changes the volume coming out of the surface. I'm going to go on and spray again. Okay, see that now? Just by changing the volume, I'm applying more chemistry. Bam! It took it out. So these things, these tips here, you can screw them on real tight, and that becomes one volume. You can loosen the tip, and that becomes another volume. Both volumes can be measured and documented, and if you go to determining saturation rate video on the Danmar website, you'll see exactly how that purpose is. See how it's nice and wet and shiny and stuff like that? So that is the first part of this training. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the same foam on the same sausage, but we're going to have it in our Danmar portable spray system, and we're going to go on and take a look at that. 10 seconds. Remember, we were working with 10 seconds. So we'll go in and we'll set that up, and we'll study that for 10 seconds, and then you'll have two points of interest for validation. Thank you for your time, and I'll begin back to you. Okay, we're now back with the Danmar spray system. A couple of points I want to make here is that your chemical inlet tank to the spray system, whenever you're going to validate or whenever you're going to use the chemistry, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're working with a flooded suction to your pump. So you want to make sure that your entire lines is submerged, and you want to make sure that your lines submerged are also filled the tube. Okay, so you've got your tube, and then you have your pump, your pump that's going to be operating your fill spray system. Okay, so it's going to fill your spray system, and so those are very important things you want to make sure is that you do have a flooded suction, and that that it's all filled before you do your validation study, or even if you're going to use your chemistry on real world, you're going to spray products with it, you want to make sure that you have a flooded suction so that you get that nozzle spraying fully. Okay, that's the key right there, is your nozzles are spraying fully. Okay, the Danmar portable spray system comes with a totalizer. This totals the amount of fluid that runs through this unit. So that's very important in validation, that you have some way of measuring the volume that you're going through in a matter of seconds. So we're going to count 10 seconds. So we want to make sure we got that zeroed out so that when we count, we've got that control. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next section. Okay, now we're actually looking at the portable spray unit. Okay, I'm going to pull it over this way a little bit, try to get a better angle on my camera. And you'll notice that there's 4 nozzles on the top, there's 4 nozzles on the bottom, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to run this for 10 seconds, and then we're going to see how the foam knocked off the sausage, okay? But I just wanted you to see that we have those nozzles in place, okay? So we've got 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. And I've got this little carrying basin for that. So now we're going to go to the next section of this. Okay, so now what we have is we have the thick lather on the sausage. And for the purpose of my protection, I'm actually going to go on and put the covering over this for those 10 seconds of spraying. So I'm going to put the cover on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out loud. I've got a foot operated pedestal switch that turns on and off by my foot command. Okay, so I'm going to start it at the same time and count out loud, and then I'm going to stop and we'll see where we end up here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I turned it off. Let's see what it looks like. Bam! Okay, so let's get an idea of what happened here. Okay, let's find out if we're not getting coverage, or is this what we were talking about earlier, where the foam could be so thick that it doesn't give you an actualized performance here. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and start the sprayer now. And here we go. See what's happening there? Okay, see that coverage? So what do you do? Okay, what do you do when you got a scenario like this where it's obviously spraying, but it's not spraying like you want it to? Well, first thing you can do is you can make adjustments to your nozzles. Okay, you can go on and increase them and decrease them. We may also, look at that. Okay, I changed the position of the nozzle a little bit, and that made a difference. See this one here? This one's kind of interesting because it's like not spraying straight. It's spraying at an angle, okay? And I'm not sure how we address that. We're going to look at that, okay, a little bit. And then we got this one right here. Once again, folks, I'm spraying water. So I guess what I'm saying here, what I'm demonstrating here, is that sometimes what you have to do is you have to work with your nozzle volume, your nozzle capacity. You may also have to, it's obviously getting wet, okay? It's obviously getting wet, but what else can you do with thicker foam? Okay, what am I demonstrating here? I'm demonstrating that thicker foam gives you an inherent direction to work in, okay? It's saying to you in your planning by using a thicker foam that what I want is, I want the maximizing effect, okay? So thicker foam creates that maximize. It forces you go to the next level of performance, and that's why I picked it. When I was out there looking at the foams, another thing that I'm looking at here is the spray angle. Okay, this is straight up and down, rather than this one right here is sideways. Okay, see this one here has a fan. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about by bringing my focus in a little closer, okay? I'm going to pull it. You see that fan there? You see that fan? Now, let me move my camera so I'm almost perpendicular, exact angle on both shoots, okay? So here I am. See that fan? Now I'm going to come straight across, okay? I want you to look at that nozzle right there. Okay, this is the nozzle right here. Okay, now I'm going to see that. Do you see how the fan looks significantly different? Now here's what I'm thinking, okay? And you can verify this with different camera angles. But this one here is not fanning out completely, okay? There could be debris stuck in there, okay? That's making that occur, okay? See that? Now how about the nozzles on the bottom? What's happening with the nozzles on the bottom, okay? The nozzles on the bottom, okay, are definitely working, okay? But are they working effectively? You know, are they meeting your specific need? And as you can see here with my nozzles, is that I'm looking at. You see that? That's my overflow there on my spray, and it's going directly into a 5-gallon pail directly dumping it in the drain. So these are other things that I could consider. Is I can make this nozzle adjustment, okay? So and this is water, folks. You know, I know some of you are going, Paul, If that was acid, you would be crying right now. Okay, well folks, I don't do this kind of work with acid, okay? I don't spray acid and then stick my hand in there, okay? I just don't do that kind of stuff, and neither should you, okay? Can I make myself perfectly clear here? And neither should you, okay? When you do this kind of optimization of your system, you do it without chemical running through there, okay? You get it? Does that make sense? Okay, now I'm going to go to these nozzles right here, okay? Folks, let me ask you something. When you're dealing with a spray cabinet, you know, whether it's a portable unit like this or one that you bought from Ross Tenderizing or Chad cabinets, when you buy these systems, are you in it with water and making sure that you get the spray that you want? Okay, here we go. I got it going again. Now all of a sudden my camera's getting wet. I'm getting wet. Okay. I'm gonna put my little bracket back here with my little sausage and foam in there. Okay. This is the part. This is this extra stuff. Okay. I guess what I'm trying to say, folks, is that when you have a pump-up sprayer, your world is a whole lot different than the world of somebody that's got a spray cabinet. Okay, why? Because you got conveyor belts, okay, that work as obstacles to your nozzle adjustment. Folks, take these guys to task, these Chad guys and these Ross Tenderizer guys and all this, and say, look, I want to buy a system from you that I can get in there and I can manage my nozzle spray volume and adjustments. I want that capability, and I want you to engineer it in it. Okay? So I'm not slamming anybody. Okay? It's not my intention to slam anybody. But what I want to do is I want you guys to get out there and know that you can make a difference in your food safety program. And part of it is working with your manufacturers and say, look, dude, I need a cleanable design. We're going to hear a lot more of cleanable design, optimization design. Do you have a design that allows me to optimize the performance of my chemistry? You're going to hear a lot more about that in the coming years, primarily because we have a lot of incidences occurring right now that the design of the manufacturing is being called into question. You know, this is the era we moved into, is that technology and food safety incidents are driving us to performance evaluations, okay? So now I'm going to do this again, okay? I'm going to foam this up. I'm going to set my dial to 0, and I'm going to count out 10 seconds, and I'm going to give you an idea of what kind of volume we're looking at, okay? So let's do that. I'm going to refoam this. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Extra thick. My nightmare has come to bite me in the sleep situation, okay? So here we are. We're going back over here to the volume meter here, and we're going to go on and see what the volume looks like here. There you are. Okay, good. Perfect. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out loud to 10, and you're going to see the volume. Now, folks, let me explain something about volume that you really need to know, okay? Volume is not controlled entirely by your pump. I'm going to repeat what I just said. Volume is not controlled entirely by your pump. Now, certainly, pump capacity. Why am I having a problem saying capacity? Pump capacity, yes, does have a significant role in the volume that goes through your system, okay? But let me talk to you about the deterrence of the pump capacity, okay? Deterrence of the pump capacity are directed by a couple things. First of all, head pressure, okay? If your pump is located in one location and your nozzle's at another location and you've got a long distance, That's called head pressure, especially if you're going straight up to get to that point, or whether you're going longitudinally to get to that point. That's going to affect your nozzle. Your pump's volume. Okay. The other thing is the number of nozzles that are installed. Now I can tell you right now that I'm using a 65015 nozzle. Okay, 65015 nozzle. Why? Because I knew that my pump was sized at about 3 gallons per minute, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to get as much of a fan as I possibly could, and I knew that my nozzle restraint would keep the volume as per the spec of the nozzle tip, you know. So I got 8 nozzle tips. I've got a particular spec because I'm dealing with an 015 capacity nozzle, and I know that I have a 65-degree angle. So I know a couple of things, and I know that, you know, that I needed to be a certain volume from that, okay, because I knew my pump could only achieve 3 gallons per minute. So all of this, I'm not going to say it's accurately engineered. I'm just saying that that's the engineering data I use, okay? Some of you engineer types out there, you guys could send me an email back and say, Paul, what you should have done, you should have used this kind of a pump, and you would see a better performance. Or you could use this kind of a nozzle spray angle. You know, you went with the 65-degree angle. What if you would have gone with the 50 angle and changed your fan to a flood? You know, would it have been better? You know, and I would say, yes, it could have been better, but there's also one more issue, and that's the distance between your part, which is your sausage ring, and the nozzle tip itself. That also has a curve that it's thrown at you. So nozzle technology and using it accurately is not it's not a complete science. You've actually got to do a lot of what we're doing right now is troubleshooting, okay? Working with your nozzles, readjusting it, changing them out from a flooded spray to a angle spray. All of those considerations are very important when you want to optimize your performance, okay, or maximize, whichever word you like the most. Optimize, maximize, they both mean almost the same meaning. So guys, this is your business. This is your food safety intervention. You're validating it. You're working with it. You're making the changes. Do them with a relatively degree of knowledge regarding your pump capacity versus your nozzle capacities, making sure that those mix. And once again, I'll say it again, take your engineer to task. You know, if you do a thick foam test, you run it through your Chad spray cabinet, or you run it through your Ross tenderizer spray cabinet, or Joe Schmo spray cabinet, or Paul Edwards portable spray cabinet, whoever system you run it through, make sure that they're able to help you adjust those nozzles, okay, and in a way that you could readjust and spray, and then readjust and spray and readjust and spray. And I mean, how many of these thick foam studies are you going to have to do to get it right the way you want it right? And so that means you got to get into that system. Is it designed to allow you to get in there and make those adjustments frequently? Go back to your manufacturer, say, look guys, I want you to do a better job. Do a better job for me. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go on. Okay, the sermon is over. Paul Edwards, just get a grip. Let's go on and do the research that we're looking at. Okay, here we go. I'm going to count out loud to 10. I'm going to look at that volume meter there, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what you saw there is you saw it skip to 0.1 gallons per minute. Who can tell me real quick what 0.1 gallon per minute is? Okay, the answer in the video in the caption section later on. Okay, I'll tell you it's 12.8 right now, but I don't know if I'm right, so we'll see. Bye. Here's what the readjusted nozzles did, okay? This is the kind of spray we got this time. Okay, once again, I want to emphasize that a thick foam for validation is one tool, but another tool is the dye, okay? And the dye is more of a surface demonstrator, because what it's going to do, it's going to leave color right in there, okay? And a lot of you guys are saying, Paul, how come you didn't do a dye test? You know what? I mean, you're already doing this. with foam, why don't you go on and do a dye as well? Folks, that'll be my next video, okay? Give me some time. But anyway, I thank you very much for your business. If you need to get a hold of me, Paul Edwards at 817-822-5767, 817-822-5767, or go to our website, www.danmarco.net, danmarco.net, or email me at danmarco, the number 1, at msn.com. We really do appreciate your business. We like you watching our videos. We thank you very much. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to foam this puppy up one more time, and then I'm going to let you guys watch it as it gets sprayed, and that'll be the end of our session, okay? Hold on. Okay, there's our foam, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on it, count 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take it off. There it is, my friend. There it is. Now let's see. Some of you guys are saying, Paul, I want you to get wet in the face. Come on, do it. Here we go. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at that. It's getting really wet. You know, it looks like a river running through that sucker, and the foam won't get off. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Bye.